Good evening,
Hi,
and
everybody.
welcome to South Suburban Missionary Baptist Church midweek moment entitled Marriage Matters. We are going to be your host for this month of July, which July is an amazing month. Why? Because I got a chance to marry this beautiful queen sitting next to me. Actually, this Thursday will be our 15th year anniversary. 15 years in this, we getting up there, we getting grown in this. We are super excited. Listen, we are super excited. This week we get to get our own Archbishop Isaac Hayes and his newly bride Sharika Hayes, and we get the chance to talk to them and see, check in on them and see how has it been since they got married 4 months ago. So let's welcome Isaac and Sharika Hayes.
Hello, y'all.
Hi.
What up,
Hey.
Archbishop Hayes? How are you, sir?
What's up, Stephen? How you doing?
Hey, it is amazing to have you and your newly wedded bride, Sharika. We are super excited that you guys are here with us today for our midweek moment. We are super stoked. I am so glad that you guys invited us to the wedding. It was beautiful. We want to say congratulations to you guys again. You guys were beautiful. We love you guys' relationship. We love you guys, how you guys are with each other. It's an amazing example to our culture. The fact that we're young, black, and married and happy. That's the best part about it. We showing these other folks that you can be who we are and still be happy in marriage. So thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
So we want to kick this off with a couple of questions. One of the questions we want to ask you guys: do you guys admit
your wrongs, accept responsibility, and apologize for those wrongs?
yeah.
For us, I think we have always had like a relationship, a friendship with each other. Our relationship essentially started as friends. And so as friends, you hold your friend accountable, right? For whatever, the situation might be, you hold them accountable. And in that accountability, you do have to sometimes have uncomfortable conversations. You have to sometimes, be vulnerable. You have to sometimes apologize. You have to sometimes accept the apology and be responsible, in your relationship. So I think we've had that naturally, right? As friends, kind of being with each other and kind of morphed into a more intimate kind of relationship in our marriage. I think that kind of responsibility comes natural to us. What you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But definitely there's always room for improvement.
Indeed. Indeed.
I completely agree with you, Sharika, and there's definitely need for improvement. Also, we started off as best friends. Like literally, this was my road dog, my ride or die. She was my best friend before we even got intimate. She was literally the person that I would go to if I had a problem in my previous relationship. I'd go to her like, let me tell you what happened, and it just ultimately transferred into when we became a couple. It like you said, it became natural. It came so like fluent to where like we able to talk. One thing that we do is we make sure that we do not go to bed angry. We cannot go to bed angry, especially in this season that we're in now. You never know if the person gonna wake up or not. So you got to make sure that we always communicate that love that we have for each other, and to make sure that we are on one page at the end of the day. No matter what the day hold, we always make sure that we are together when we say goodnight. And so we're still working on some people with the apology. Listen, we've been married 15 years. I got my first apology 4 years ago.
Progress.
When you do it, God is good. Let me tell you, I could have shouted around the house when she said, "My bad, babe." I took that. That was a win for the husbands right there. And so that's one thing that I love, though, is that we still, even though we've been together so long, we still are growing together, right? We're still opening up, and things are still manifesting in our life. Question: as a newlywed couple, what would you consider a nice date?
As newlyweds,
For me, I don't think I have to have anything necessarily concrete, but just a space and opportunity to just be ourselves. And so, what initially attracted me to Isaac was his laughter. So, anytime we can get together to laugh, of course, share a meal together, and just have fun. And so that can be indoors, outdoors, over the road. It doesn't matter. So something fun where we can just be ourselves and laid back.
And something where kids are not involved at all,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not always.
Not well.
We can have family dates.
We can have family dates, but it's a difference between
I
having
agree.
a nice date, right?
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about somebody choking off something or ketchup everywhere or whatever. Just being with each other without the kids. Minus the kids are always a plus for
Yeah.
us when we're together.
Yeah, that's one thing that we tell people all the time is that you have to continue to date each other, right? No matter what it is, especially when you have kids, because after the kids are gone, then what, right? Because when you center your life around the kids, then you really don't have nothing there besides, what you created, right? Besides that relationship that is surrounded. Now, let me clarify this. There's nothing wrong with family dates. We love family dates. Matter of fact, in 2 weeks, we're planning a trip with all 6 of our grandkids. All 6 of them. Pray for us, okay, as I pray for you. We plan on taking all 6 of our grandkids somewhere. But I totally understand how nice it is to just have that alone time with your spouse, especially with the hard days of work and, just the rigmarole, just the frustration of life and stuff. It's always a good thing to be able to just look into that spouse eyes and just relax, right? So that's one thing that I love, and I agree. What would you say? What's an idea for a good day? Look, I'm trying to get some points right here because our anniversary is this weekend, so I'm trying to see what I can do.
Oh,
okay,
you should be planned already.
it is planned. It's already planned. I'm just trying to see if I need to add something. Yeah, future. I'm just trying to see if I need to add something.
Gotcha.
What would you say?
Just a walk downtown. I'm not difficult. Walk
Okay.
downtown. Nice dinner. Like you said, Sharika, laughter, conversation, stuff like that. Yeah. Just that time to be with each other is okay.
I agree.
So,
I do like the walks downtown. We used to look. That was one. I'm gonna throw a little hint out there to all you husbands out there. Listen, you can park on Whitworth for $6 in the garage. $6. Walk to Navy Pier from Whitworth and I think it's 8th Street, and then walk to Navy Pier. Every Saturday during the summer, they have fireworks. You just walk down there, enjoy the fireworks, walk back. Listen, all you have paid is $6. That's it. So that's a little nugget out there. Everything else you want to pay me for later on another day. But that's it's a lot of things that we gotta that we can do that necessarily don't always cost money, or have to be wrapped around. Well, can I afford this? There's so many things that you can do out there to make sure that you are staying intimate and dating your spouse. What makes you feel the most loved?
I think we do a lot of talk about this when it comes to making sure that we can honor each other's love language. And I don't think you have to have one certain love language. You can have a multitude of love languages. But for me, my top one is acts of service. And so I value when Isaac can do something to just lighten the load for me. And so if that's taking over a chore in the household, supporting with the kids a little bit more, maybe with bedtime, bath time, or just anything to support me that I perhaps didn't have to initiate or ask for. Simply because he listened and he saw that I was in need of any support, and he just came through with it. So just acts of service is my primary love language.
Yeah.
What about for you?
I think I've been really into gift giving these last couple of I guess months or years, a year or so. So any gift giving of any kind of way, it's definitely like it makes me feel love. One of the things I was surprised by was Sharika's wedding gift to me, which was something that I was able to wear for the reception, right? So my Gucci shoes and my Gucci hat, something
yeah, you was clean, Doc. You was clean.
But sir, it was nothing I planned on my own. I was gonna wear, what I had on from the wedding, but that was just like a surprise. And so anytime I'm given something, whether it be like whatever, EJ is being creative in school, and giving me, presents and stuff like that, and royalty as well. Always make it something. I made this for you. Like I keep on, hold to that stuff, and I'm collecting those things because they become, I guess, for me, sacraments. They become a good tool for me to like connect to like my fatherhood and to see them like give me something. It's honorable for sure, and I'm coming to appreciate that and learning that is another love language that I haven't had in the past, but definitely enjoying it now that I'm married.
Good to know.
Yeah, so keep giving gifts.
Keep giving gifts. You hear that? Keep giving gifts.
Doing the dishes for me,
Well, I understand. What about you, Boo?
My love language is time, because he's always working and stuff. So I have to base myself around his time. My love language is time. I ask for a lot of time. It don't have to be anything in particular. It could be just us sitting on the couch watching a movie, anything. So, and time is my thing.
Yeah, one thing that I kind of dropped the ball on that Saturday. We had a family event at the firehouse. We was doing a family day, and I was supposed to cover for another station that night for 2 hours. And I thought I told her, but I didn't. And that time, and I saw the look on her face when I told her. I was like, you know what? I changed. I'm like, I don't need to go. I have somebody else cover me, And so that's one thing that's real important, that you got to learn your spouse's love language. And that is something that's easy. Time is nothing. Time don't cost. That's something that is just something that you're giving from the heart. And I've noticed the change that when I give the time, how it changed her whole mood. You would think that I gave her a diamond ring when I just get that time, right? And so I'm gonna go with Isaac on this one. I love gift giving, right?
Yeah.
Look, I love gift giving. Don't look. She bought me some my favorite chips today, and I thought I was in heaven. Look, man, I was in heaven. I almost cried. I'm like, you bought that for me?
I know. I think I'm like that with Sharika. We have this special popcorn that we eat, and so she used to bring only her a bag of popcorn home. So now we're able to bring each other a bag, and so she was surprised even when I brought her a bag of popcorn home. On Saturday.
Yeah, so thank you.
So you didn't say thank you. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But not only do I like receiving gifts, I do try to give them as well.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I appreciate it.
Like popcorn, sharing. It's very good.
Yeah, I feel you on the whole receiving part. I mean, the whole giving part too. For her birthday this year, I started day one. Her birthday is May 15th. And I gave her a gift every day all the way up to her birthday. And so, she look, this is, I'm tell you what I did. I thought I was cool with this, Doc. Let me tell you, I put some numbers in a cup, and she had to open a cup every day. And when she opened the cup, it had a number that reflected to the gift. And so she picked out a gift every single day. And when I tell you, man, and it wasn't nothing big. I think one day was
like candy.
Yeah, it was just like her favorite candies or candies that meant something, right? And then her big gift was she wanted this huge fish tank. So she came home one day and the fish tank was sitting in the living room. And so it's just, it's just like I was starting to get clever with it. It took me 15 years to get here, but I'm starting to arrive, Doc. And so I love making just that smile. I think that's what it is the smile that they have when that love language is being reciprocated.
Where did you two meet?
Yeah, where did we meet?
We met at work. Maybe what was it? 12 years ago. This year will make it 12 years. It was like
2010.
Yep, 2010, October of 2010. We met as coworkers, worked together for that first year, and then the second year, Isaac expressed interest. We were working together, and so we just became really close friends. And it took a while, a friendship of dating before we officially committed to each other. Nearly 7 years ago.
Yeah, and then we worked together. We were literally next to each other.
Like our cubicles.
Our cubicles were next to each other. The people who hired us said that we interviewed the same day. I think Sharika came in that morning. I came in that evening. And they made a decision out of all of the candidates that they had interviewed. They made a decision and picked us. I think because we were young. I think they said that we were young and we were able to accept the salary that they were paying at that time. Which was not a lot of money going into it. But we were, we sat next to each other, and that developed a connection. And Sharika shortly thereafter was promoted to a management position.
Wow.
And it broke my heart. I was excited for her, but it also broke my heart, which meant that she was no longer in our building. She had to go to the courts.
I was in the courthouse.
She was in the courthouse with her new position. So she had an office in juvenile court for a number of years. And so just imagine trying to be friends, with each other. And that's how we started having these picnic dates that we would meet in the park. Meet in the park and have a picnic. With everything, our blanket and stuff, and our food.
During our lunch period.
During our lunch period, right? During our extended lunch period. During our lunch period, we would meet and have these picnics in the park, in Humble Park, actually. Humble Park was a west side because we worked out west, west side. Our area in which we did family advocacy, and so we would meet in Humble Park, and that was us to connect and stuff like that. So this coworker turned into a friend, turned into a homie, lover friend, and here we are.
Here we are.
It is so crazy that our stories are so similar. So,
that's true. Yeah, at the school, right?
Yeah.
At the school.
I met this young tenderoni. At first, she was my niece's daycare teacher, and then when I first met her, I'm like, let me tell you, she was one of them chicks that I was like, God, listen, if you let me get this one, I promise I'll be the best person in the world. Look, I was making all type of bargains and everything with God. And so I ended up going away to school, and I came home and I started working at Bryan Education Center. And so when she came in, look, I thought the heavens opened up. I thought you just seen this big glow walking through the door. And I was like, I know that ain't who I think it is. And she sat next to me. She was smelling all good and stuff. She had her Victoria's Secret smell goods on. I'm like, yeah. And so we ended up, she had a boyfriend. I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, okay, But a year later, if I can't have her as my lover, I'll take her as my friend, right?
Yeah.
So we was best friends, and I was blowing her phone up, and then one March, her boyfriend got gone, and the girl that I was talking to got gone, and I was like, you know what? Let's go on a date. Look, it got so bad to where this how I hooked. I was super hooked. She got suspended from work, so I called off so I could go be with her. When I got suspended, she called off so she could be with me. So I understand how it is, and so I used to sign it in for work so she wasn't late. We can tell it now. We ain't there no more. We don't care. So I used to sign it in so she wasn't late. Brought her breakfast every morning, everything. Look, I kept my promise to God. Like, you give her this, you give me this woman, I will make sure I do the best that I can. And I pray that I am holding my end of the bargain up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So, like I said, our stories are so similar, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one reason why we love you two so much is because like-minded people. That's something that's good. I love that. But how open are you guys about your feelings and concerns?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, right? I'm not as open, right? I hold on to things. I linger for a while. I sit in things probably, and then it comes out later. Where Sharika is very vocal, and I mean she's a therapist, so she's trained in that regard to share her feelings, and so for me, you won't know it until later how I really felt about something.
I agree.
You agree?
I try to coach him to say like, "Hey, let's address it quickly.
Yeah.
Put out the small fires so it doesn't exacerbate any longer." But he'll sit on it for a week. Then he'll say, "Do you remember last week or 2 weeks ago when you said X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?" But for me, I'm just like, "No, let's talk about it right now so we can move on. Let's grow from this moment so we don't have to have it lingering any longer." And so I feel like I'm vocal. Very transparent and honest and addressing certain things just because I want us to move on and not stay stuck there.
Don't be looking at me like that. Yeah, I tend to linger sometimes, you know. But I think with mine, I'm not as open with my feelings because my feelings revolved around her feelings. And then I know sometimes that can become unhealthy if you don't like stress it out. But in all honesty, I think if she's happy and well, my soul is happy and well, you know? And so it's like, I don't think it's nothing. I don't like to see her sad. I don't like to see her like, you know, angry or nothing like that. So I just think I stress that a lot. You know, I think I tell her a whole lot that, you know, her happiness is why I do everything that I do. So, well, so I think I'm like 50-50. You got to give me that 50-50 a little bit.
See, I'm the vocal one. I'm the vocal one. When my feelings hurt, I let him know.
About it.
Feelings, I explain why and what he did wrong.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, he won't say nothing. He won't say nothing. And I feel like he should be able to talk to me and vocalize what he feels too. And I try and tell him this, but he don't do it. He don't do it.
Yeah,
so I think the next question is no, but that's still I do understand it, and that's something that I am greatly working on. And that's the good thing about marriage is that even though you don't have it 100% together, the fact that you are willing to work on it makes it all that much worth the while, right? It makes it that much that I have somebody that's willing to tell me that, okay, this is what you need to work on, you know, and it has to be like, I think it was you, Sharika, that said it, or Isaac, that you have to be able to accept that, right? The apologies and all of that, you got to be able to accept it on the back end. And so, and not hold on to that. I think that's the one of the things to me that kill marriages is that folks like to hold on to things and not let it go. You know, some stuff that we get upset about can be a small thing, and when you hold on to it, it is very dangerous. You know, and then one thing we say is that when you don't argue, like when that blow up comes, it comes from something that was so small, right? Like sometimes you will, if you don't get it out. So one day you mad because the garbage wasn't taken out. The next day, and you didn't stress it. The next day you mad because the dishes wasn't washed, or she didn't put gas back in the car. One day you're gonna get mad because somebody left a little bit of orange juice left, and you ain't gonna be arguing about the orange juice. That's not really the thing that you're mad about. You're mad about everything else that's stacked up. So it's easier to just get it out and just, you know, just go ahead and talk about it.
Let that moment, you could give it like a break in between and then come back to it
and just hash it out.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely. And I promote that all the time in terms of learning how to fight fair. So you can address one issue at a time, because sometimes your response is kind of incongruent to what just occurred, but really it's because things have mounted and you allow for things to continue to build. So it is nice when you can address it on site. If you need to take a moment to step away, that's fine, but try to address it so it doesn't linger or roll into the next issue.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So with you guys being newlyweds, do you guys have like a regular tradition for holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries or anything like that?
Oh,
We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's only been 3 months
Yeah.
of marriage. And so just like for the 4th of July, we combined our families. And so came to our home together. But we are definitely in a season right now, as you know, the weather's shifting, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up. And so we're trying to decipher what will be the plans, if we'll spend it more so with Isaac's family for one holiday, then my family the next holiday. It would be nice if we can just continue to combine it all together so we don't have to decide, but we know that's not realistic because everyone already had their tradition set up at home. So we're still working it out.
Yeah, but for sure, the 4th of July, which was July 3rd, you know, we were able to come to where we live, and in our village, they have a firework, you know, show. And so we not only, you know, barbecued and stuff and host, you know, family, but we were able to come together and watch the fireworks. And so that's a new tradition that that we started. We started it when we were engaged. So the last year we did it. And then this year was our second, you know, time doing it. So
first time as a married couple.
Yeah, first time as a married couple.
Just, something special.
And it was actually on the 3rd, and we got married on April 3rd.
April 3rd, yeah.
Yeah, so Sharika called me. I was in the store getting last minute things. She said, you know, it's our anniversary today. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, our anniversary? What do you mean? Like, it's not April 3rd. Yeah, it's a 1-year anniversary. But she was celebrating, you know, for her 3 months, right?
It was 3 months.
It was 3 months.
days in.
And she says to me, you should get a cake. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna get these little pound cakes right here and cut it up for the people. But I'm not buying no sheet cake. You know, these sheet cakes cost.
Yeah.
I'll just quit now. We didn't do a sheet cake. We just had cake and everything for our family and stuff, and kind of named that, hey, we're celebrating 3 months and everything. And so for us, it was a big deal, you know, but for other people, they're like, okay,
all
you
right.
know. But
Sharika got it good. She got the anniversary and her birthday in the same month.
True.
But you know what? Honestly, part of me, and I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but part of me kind of wants to do the wedding over just so I can have a new anniversary date. I'm like, I should not have combined it all in basically the same week, birthday and wedding anniversary in 1 week. So I figured if we just got married again, do it all over next year, I could switch the anniversary date to maybe July or August or something. What do you think?
I don't know. Says the person who rescheduled the wedding 3 times.
Well, that's due to COVID.
I mean, it was due to COVID, but the people at the venue that we had our wedding at was like, hey, y'all, this is the last date y'all gonna change. You know, either you have a wedding or not. You know, so you give us one more date and then that's it. You know, and we changed it because of, you know, different things that was happening within the world.
Yeah.
There was a requirement, a number requirement, so we only had
vaccination requirements,
just all of these different stipulations, which altered, you know, our date because we wanted our guests to be comfortable and we wanted everybody that we invited, we wanted them to attend and not take our guest list and cut it down to 50 people. We're really 48. If you look at our children, then it's less than that, right? Of other people, and so it really would have been just our families there, really. So we wanted to invite most immediate family. So we wanted to invite our friends like you two to be there and to witness, you know, our wedding. So that's why we kept pushing it back and different things. And then it gave us enough time to look sexy, you know, with losing our
dropped his weight.
You made me jealous, Doc, man.
Hey, sir.
I'm trying to get there, man. I told her. I said for our wedding anniversary, I'm gonna have an LL Cool J 6-pack.
Listen, committed to the journey, sir. And it was it was definitely worth it, you know, being able to celebrate her. And I'd say it was a win-win. I don't see it as, you know, like being cheated or slighted. I say it was a win-win because we were able to go on our honeymoon. And at the same time, while we were on our honeymoon, we celebrated her.
Yeah,
so
it was really
good because the butlers at the resort that we were at were like just really accommodating and very attentive. And we had 2 of them. and which I don't know how we got 2 of them, but we had 2 butlers, and it definitely worked out. They were overly accommodating and really made our time, there special, and her birthday even more special.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win for me. I was able to go on honeymoon and celebrate her birthday. So it was really good.
Yeah, that's the good part for you, Doc. I swear, because I got Mother's Day and her birthday, like literally a week apart. Yeah, literally a week apart. So when the kids were little, they ain't have jobs. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be something else, right? This is like I'm getting gat. I get she get 2 gifts in 1 month. But it's something that is I truly found to start like embracing.
Cool.
With us, our tradition for birthdays, we always we have this little strawberry shortcake that everybody used to get. Everybody get it. Then when before everybody got too old, and then like the cake smash, which was like 2 years ago. Yeah, so we used to smash the cake in everybody's face. And the holidays, everybody, I said we got 6 grandkids. So like Christmas, everybody come over here for our Christmas. They spend the night Christmas Eve, and we all wake up. Yeah.
Gifts and stuff.
Yeah, so it's real fun. I love it. Same thing for Thanksgiving. We all Big Mama cook on Thanksgiving, and everybody come over here and we just enjoy. And that's one thing that I love with having so many grandkids is that it's just that feeling of family that you get that just makes you feel so whole, right? It's like this is what grandmama and papa used to love growing up, right? Just having that everybody over at one time and running around in a house, and you guys say, "Boy, stop running in and out of my house." I got a chance to say that the other day. I was a little happy about that, right? And so it's just that whole feeling, and I'm starting to really enjoy these new traditions that we're able to create. We call it creating memories.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's good.
Okay, next question. Is going to church or another house of worship important to you?
Yeah, the church is something that I bring to our relationship. Sharika married a minister, and so church is a part of what we do. It's a part of our life. It's a part of our vocation. It's what we do. So we go to church together, and I think that's important. Now the nuance for our whole church engagement now is that we don't get a chance to worship live together, because the way that our ministry is set up now, we no longer have 2 gatherings in our church. We only have 1, and we have that 1 gathering every first and third Sunday of the month. So we meet in person on those first and third Sundays, whereas the everybody's meeting for worship, Sharika and I are in our youth ministry mode. So I'm doing youth ministry, she doing teen ministry now, and so we're hosting ministry for youth. And so we don't find time like we were before we got married, where we were able to worship together. We now have to worship virtually together and be intentional and create opportunities for that, because that don't happen every Sunday for us. It's a work Sunday, and because we are ministers at our church, we minister right to our youth. Then we have to get ministry maybe on Monday or Tuesday, which we didn't do it today. So we got to find out how we're gonna fit in worship, together. So it's something new for us due to this. Yeah, still kind of
trying to figure it out right now. We're trying to serve kind of in a leadership role, essentially in the church, but also create space to worship together and not be essentially working. So we're still growing, we're still learning, but at the core of us, our marriage should be a ministry, and so we want to serve the church in that capacity together. And so we just want to continue to work on that amongst ourselves in terms of how do we worship together.
That's dope. Yeah, that's the same thing. I feel like she married a church boy, and how it was. We've been growing up together since 2001. So we was in church back then, day in, day out. Sometimes twice a day. You know what I mean? But it was literally at one point, I think we had church every Sunday through Saturday, right? And so it was to a point where she like, you can't possibly be going to church all that time. And so when we actually started worshiping together, it was an amazing time. I remember the first time she came to church with me, we were engaged, and Pastor Mike Jones was like, Stephen, you want to introduce that lady next to you? And by this time, we had already been like through our marriage counseling and stuff. And so he was like, you want to introduce that lady next to you? And then that's when we announced to the church that we were engaged and all of that. And it was such an amazing moment, right? I remember that day like very vividly, right? It was such an amazing time. And so since then, now I love how she has embraced me becoming from or ordained deacon to a minister, and how she really like supports me, have my back, and keeps me actually motivated to continue this walk, right? Carry this calling, right? And so ultimately, I love our relationship that we have with Christ first, and then our relationship together. So I think that's something that is really, really important to us, that we are of the same faith and believe God, and that we actually were able to put him in the center of our marriage. So that's something that I think is completely dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last question you want to ask it, baby?
Can you identify 3 things you can do to improve or enhance your marriage?
Now I know it only been 3 months.
But we got a list.
Oh, okay. Let me know.
I think what we just kind of touched on today, I think communication is still key. Learning how to, handle disagreements quickly and efficiently to help us to grow and to continue to allow our marriage to be a ministry, a healthy ministry, an example of, what love can be. And so communication, I think, is crucial for us. I'll say date night as well.
Yes.
Continue to learn how to date each other and create space outside of our roles as parents as well, because we do have toddlers, a 6 and a 4-year-old. So it's important to not make your marriage be all about just parenting and household chores and things, but learning to still have fun together is crucial. So we're still growing in that capacity. And what else? What else do you want to add?
I don't know. I think those 2 is very important.
And building, I think, and also I think business wise, continue to build a legacy, like to leave for like our children. And so we're building out like a therapy practice together and try to expand that and what that looks like. And so that's our way of giving back to the community. That's something that how we met. We're entering into social service to serve other people, and so allowing our marriage to help us to build a business so we can leave a legacy and be impactful to create change for other people together.
Yeah, we're 3 months in, so we're still in our probation. We're still on probation. And we come from in our line of profession as well. Probation is 6 months, so we're just meet the half mark on this whole thing. So when you asked us to do this today, we're like, wow, it's an honor to do it, but we just entering into this thing. We're infants, to it. Idea of marriage. And so thank you for having us, to hear us, and as we try to figure this out, we look forward to future conversations.
Absolutely.
And you guys check in with us, please do, because y'all 15 years in it and we just 3 months. And so we trying to be like y'all when we grow up.
Be married.
When we say be better than us.
Be better. Okay.
Be better than us. One thing about, so for us, I'll go to this before I get all emotional. So one thing that I think is communication. Communication is the key, right? That is the most important thing in a relationship. It's the simplest thing it's simple, but the most complicated thing, right? Because we have to make sure that we are communicating with each other. Our time, that's one thing is definitely something that we can improve or enhance, and ultimately, along with time, it includes like regularly date nights, scheduled date nights, scheduled times to just talk, read a book together. And one thing that we did that we tried to improve on was our education status, right? And so my queen just graduated this year, from University of South Florida,
Yeah.
and so I
Congratulations.
still got less than a year left before I'm done. And so that's something that we are literally, and she encouraged me on that too, because it's days where I come home and she's like, "Did you do your homework?" And I'm like, "No," but I get to it. She's like, She's like, "You gonna get this homework done." And so at first, when she first started, she was getting straight. Well, she graduated with straight A's, high honors, and I was trying to keep up with her. And after a while, I was like, "No, this B gonna have to do it." So I'm gonna have to improve on that, trying to keep up with her on that education level. But I'm like super proud of her with the accomplishments that she made. One reason why we wanted you guys on here is because yes, you guys are 3 months in, but it's still showing the fact that love still exists. Black love exists. There are still black men, strong black men in our family, in our homes. And so that's one thing that I wanted the people to see is that there is love in our culture. There is love in our society. And so we truly appreciate you guys for being here with us today. And just some of these questions are not like easy questions to just answer, And so for you guys to be able to literally communicate that with us and everyone else and being open, that's something that's truly amazing, because it is us that have to make sure that we're there for the young EJs and the young AJs and the ones that's out there, to show them, that who the role of the mother and the father in the home, and so when we are on one accord and with one accord, we're able to be that example to the younger generation, be that example to those that coming up behind us, to just let them know that you can have fun and still be married.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's a lot of the fears that they back in the day, marriage used to be considered the ball and chain, right? That's not necessarily what it is. Marriage is fun. Like, we have fun all the time, whether it's laying up on the couch watching crazy TV shows or Law and Order or Impractical Jokers. It's still fun to be able to just sit back and enjoy each other's company. So we truly appreciate you guys for being with us today. We want to thank our pastor, Dr. Annette Jones, for giving us this space and this opportunity to be able to talk to married couples in this day and age. And we just want to say thank you guys for joining us this week, and we pray that God continue to bless you guys. We pray that God's favor continue to reign over your union, and that everything that you guys put forth an effort to do, that God's hand will be in the midst, and He touches everything, that your kids are blessed, your children's children are blessed, just because who you guys are. So we love you guys. From one family to another, we say we love you and God bless.
We love
Thank
you all.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
y'all for
all.
having us.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You too.